Hello there. Welcome to the paper review, looking back at a big week in the Champions League, a week in which three of the biggest sides, Manchester United, Manchester City and Barcelona, all found themselves held by unfancied opponents, a bit like whoever gets Edwina Curry on Strictly Come Dancing. Barcelona first, they only managed a 2-2 draw at home to Milan on Tuesday. Despite being so dominant, Max Mosley's booked them for this weekend. Milan, bless them, basically scored in the first minute and the last, and in between, hung on for dear life. Well, no problems with that. Back in Italy, here was Gazzetta dello Sport the next morning. Colpo Milan! Milan, what a coup, says the Gazzetta. The Rossoneri were clever. They know you can't stop Barcelona, but you can put them in brackets. Press in Madrid were pretty happy about the result too. Here's AS. It's a Euro puncture for Barcelona, but rather fewer smiles over in the Catalan capital. Here's El Mundo Deportivo. Tuesday the 13th. They say it's a Spanish thing. The editorial here saying it's not fair, and now Iniesta's injured too. Indeed, Barcelona may be the reigning champions in this competition, and they have already picked up another 2 trophies this season, but that doesn't mean that there aren't already worried noises in the Catalan press about their form. Inside El Mundo, indeed, they say they don't look fresh, they're giving away the ball too easily, and they're getting lots of injuries. Iniesta, indeed, their 5th serious injury in just a month and a half. The Sport, que mala pata, which basically means what a bad leg and what a rum state of affairs. Indeed. Well, according to El Mundo Deportivo, the players have certainly responded quickly. The very next night, they had dinner together to rally round and announce, "We're still hungry." Chinese, was it? One of the most remarkable things, incidentally, about Tuesday's game, at least for the Italians, was Carlo Ancelotti's performance as a pundit on Italian TV. Carlo not only correctly predicting the 2-2 scoreline before kickoff, but also announcing as Milan took that last corner, "Here we go, 2-2 here, Thiago Silva will score." And he promptly did. I know what you're thinking, an Italian manager in knowing result ahead of game, shocker, but to be fair, it was an astonishing job. Now, Catalans weren't the only top outfit looking a bit uncomfortable this week. There were Jamie Redknapp's trousers on Sky, Manchester City, who got held by Napoli, and Inter, who unthinkably got beaten at home by a side who weren't even meant to be in the tournament, the Turkish team Trabzonspor. Let's start with the reaction from Turkey. It's quite restrained. Here we go, Fanatic, the sports paper. Destan, they say, epic. Trabzonspor, you sons of the Black Sea, you crimson blue destiny, you had the world giant Inter on her knees, shivering with fear in her own stadium. Yep, the shot count in the game, 19 to Inter, just 1 to the visitors, but whatever. Reaction, meantime, from an Italian paper. Here's Corriere dello Sport. They have Napoli of giants, Inter, what a shower. Underneath they say, while Naples dreams at Inter, it's 3 defeats now from 3, their worst start for 90 years. Who will pay? A rhetorical question, that, because everyone's actually quite clear on who will pay, and it's this man here, manager Giampiero Gasperini. The Gazetta's headline here, Turkish bath for Gasp. They say the manager is now wobbling. This weekend's game with Roma looks decisive for him. There's talk of Ranieri or that man Carlo Ancelotti coming in as a replacement. My word. Well, that man, Carlo Ancelotti, incidentally, is here on the cover of the Corriere dello Sport in new slimline form there, revealing indeed that he's dropped 11 kilos since leaving Chelsea. Well, if he dropped 77 kilos for Spaniard while he was still there, might still have a job. Bit of a stretch, of course, to imagine Carlo, a legend at Milan both as player and manager, joining up now with their neighbours and rivals. But he says, if they call me up, I'm ready to talk. So there you go. Well, let's finish off our news review today with our channel-hopping chum, Joe Cole, who is, of course, teaching the French to play football 1 game at a time at Lille. Joe barely featuring in their midweek Champions League game, coming on just in time for Lille's opponent CSKA Moscow to equalise, but his debut last weekend in Ligue 1 drew rave reviews as Joe romped his way past 4 beret-wearing St Etienne defenders to set up a teammate for Lille's 3rd goal. Voila! Whatever they say in France. L'Equipe suitably impressed. The headline here, Cole Lea Scotché. He's not Scottish, so I'm guessing this is something to do with scorching form, but you're welcome to help me out there. The paper says his first game was brilliant. He's obviously not here for a holiday. Well, yeah, have you ever been to Lille? It's natural, continues the paper, that he started on the bench after just a week at the club, but he's already won over not only his manager, but also his teammates too. Says one of them, for such a big name, he's a really simple guy. Oh, that's nice to hear. Now, that brings us to the end of this week's paper review. There'll be no paper-based fun next Friday as I'm away, but tune in a fortnight for yet more fun and games from the continent as we look back on another round of Champions League action. Hopefully you'll be tuning in then. See you then. Cheapers.
It's not me.